HF Odesiflora Seedstad, to all Ched Duflalip, Stahobes Chida. Hello, my name is Odesiflores. I'm from Tulalip, and I'm Snohomish. T. Skoy, Jennifer Flores. My mom is Jennifer Flores. T. Bod, Lupi Flores. My dad is Lupi Flores. T. Kaya, Laura Clark. My grandma is Laura Clark. T. Scapa, Sonny Jack. My grandpa is Sonny Jack. My great-grandma is Josephine Williams Landert, and my great-grandpa is Walt Landert. This year, I'm collaborating on a Native Youth Salmon Summit, and for that, we, with Tulalip Tribes, were basically coming together to create a cultural career fair for kids, and part of that, I learned about the Bolt decision, and I didn't know anything about that until this year, and thought if I didn't know about it, maybe my classmates don't know about it either. So we're gonna start off talking about the Bolt decision, and if you don't know what that is, we're just gonna dive into it. So basically we're gonna cover the Bolt decision, how it started, what happened in the duration of the Bolt decision case, and lastly we'll cover on how we won the Bolt decision. The Bolt decision started with the Fish Wars, which started in the 1950s all the way up until the 1970s. The Fish War goes hand in hand with the Bolt decision because it was how the Bolt decision case was determined. When the Fish War was going on during that time period, our indigenous fishermen and fisherwomen were going through many barriers when they were practicing their treaty rights. Police officers were using violence and force to prevent indigenous peoples from fishing, and they would point guns at our people and even shot off their rifles at them. But they didn't stop there. The police would confiscate our caught fish and would destroy our nets, our poles, and even our canoes. They would physically assault our indigenous people. A majority of our indigenous people were arrested even as young as 10 years old, being arrested for practicing our treaty rights, assaulted, as stated in the book, on September 9th, 1970, Wilkinson, this was published in 2024, a quote from Ramona Bennett, chair of Puyallup Tribe and the highest tribal official at the encampment, lived the violence that day, recalling that the police were all up on the bridge with rifles, and we could see their rifles kicking, and you could feel the bullets going by. There was nowhere you could go. I was so scared that my legs were stiff. It was like that Frankenstein walk you do when you're absolutely terrified, from page 2. When the Fish War protests began in the 1950s to the 1970s, there was a silent war going on between indigenous peoples and the state that went on for decades prior. According to Whitner, 2007, this would occur every salmon season, where we would have to evolve and manage fishing at night so they could fish without interference from the police. With the protest and pressure from several affected tribal reservations and the advocacy by Bill Rogers and others, they were able to petition to the court to go to trial. It was the United States versus the state of Washington. When the Fish War was close to the end, the Nisqually tribe created an economy selling salmon, shellfish, and other resources to the non-tribal settlers, and to the Hudson Bay Company and Fort Nisqually, and from Whitner's research, 2007. It wasn't until 1974 when Judge Bolt made his decision that in favor of the tribes who petitioned Judge Bolt held the United States accountable to the promises of the seven treaties, or the Stephen Treaties of Washington, which included the Treaty of Point Elliott from my tribe, and the Treaty of No Point, and the Treaty of Medicine Creek. A quote by Andrew Gopin, when he was writing about remembering the Bolt decision, stated, "When do your rights expire? When do the terms of treaties cease? Never. The Bolt decision sought to resolve these questions," end quote, said Andrew Gopin, 2014, on the Tele News Siatsab. So, lastly, the Bolt decision was a piece of history that ensured our treaty rights to fish and to fish in our common areas. I really wanted to touch on this because learning about this year just really made me reflect on how fortunate we are now, and it's just something that we have to remember, because we don't want to forget this history, because if we forget, then we can't prevent it from happening again in the future. So if we remember it and spread awareness on it, and keep that, I guess, in the back of our minds, maybe we can honor and continue to ensure that our treaty rights are being protected. So, Tigwitseed, thank you for listening, and I hope that you feel more informed about the Bolt decision and more informed on the fish wars. So, thank you.